Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we'll talk about the problems in the Realme X3. So Realme had announced the Realme X3 and the X3 Super Zoom as a flagship kind of experience at a slightly lesser price point, because it has the last year's Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 plus octa-core processor. So we have been using this device for more than 2 weeks now. There are a few major issues what we feel about this device, so that's what we are going to highlight in this video. So this device is priced starting at 24,999. So the base variant, the 6 gigs of RAM variant, is priced 24,999, and we have the 8 gigs RAM variant which is priced 25,999. That's 26,000 rupees. So at this price segment, there are lots of issues which the Realme X3 has. So we'll talk about that in this video. So if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. Now, first of the issues we felt about the Realme X3 is the identity crisis. Now, if you look at the Realme X3 design, it's exactly the same design we have been seeing on a lot of Realme devices, starting from probably Realme 3 Pro and Realme 5 Pro, Realme 6, Realme 6 5. All those devices had the exact same look and feel. So if I hold this device, unless you look closely, you cannot actually distinguish whether it's Realme X3 or the budget Realme 5. So that is one of the major issues with almost all the Realme devices. There is no major design change happening. Even for a flagship device, this actually looks like a very budget offering. I mean, you might feel that how come this is an issue, but if you're paying around 25,000 and if your device looks like a budget offering, I personally feel that shouldn't happen. At least there should be some difference in terms of the budget offering and the premium offering. At least some design changes should have been there. Now the build quality is good, it's a glass finish, that's a different thing, but then that actually shows up only when you look closely or when you actually feel the device. Otherwise it's kind of an older looking device like the budget offering. So that's one of the issues we felt about the Realme X3. Now second and most important aspect is the display. Now this device has an IPS LCD display. Yes, this has 120Hz refresh rate, that's the trend now. But having a 120Hz refresh rate does not mean the display is really great. Now it's an IPS LCD panel. Again, I would say IPS LCD panels are not bad, but the one provided on the Realme X3 is kind of cost cutting what Realme has done. That's what the reality is. Now this display definitely is not the best for a 25K price segment. Now if you look at the other offerings in the 25K price segment, the Redmi K20 Pro and Realme's own X2 Pro are much better than this display. So this display is kind of very low brightness, and also it doesn't feel like a premium offering. At least when you're paying 25,000, you expect a slightly better panel, if not AMOLED, a slightly better IPS LCD panel. Even though the refresh rate is good, but the display experience is probably the worst we have seen in the 25K priced device. Now third aspect is the cameras. Now you might ask, what is the issue with the camera? It has a quad camera setup, it has a 64 megapixel Samsung's GW1 sensor. But having a sensor or a 64 megapixel sensor or a camera doesn't make the camera great. There should be processing, the software processing, the image processing, everything has to be integrated with the sensor. Then only you get really good images. So what happened with the Realme X3 is that Realme hasn't done any effort in terms of improving the camera performance. Now if we have done a camera comparison, in fact a comparison with the Redmi K20 Pro. Now the Redmi K20 Pro was announced a year back, that means last July the K20 Pro was announced. Now if you compare the K20 Pro with the Realme X3, the images looks exactly the same, almost similar. In fact, the Redmi K20 Pro had advantage in some areas. So even after a year of launch, Realme hasn't done anything good with the cameras. It's kind of very disappointing, to be very frank, with the cameras. Now for an average user, you might feel these cameras are good, but if you look at the price segment, the cameras are really worse than what the competition offers. Now another aspect is that there is no 3.5mm audio jack. Now yes, I agree, most of the flagship smartphones are now skipping the 3.5mm audio jack, be it the OnePlus or the other flagship like the Samsungs also are skipping a 3.5mm audio jack. If you look at the Realme X3, this does not come with 3.5mm audio jack. Now the Realme X2 and the Redmi K20 Pro, both in this price segment, come with an audio jack. Now this has a USB Type-C listening experience, audio experience, but for this price segment I feel the 3.5mm audio jack should have been present. So those are the 4 major issues we felt with the Realme X3. Now Realme X3 Super Zoom, we have not tested the camera quality, but it's again the same 64 megapixel shooter, but we are talking about the Realme X3 at 25k price segment. These are 4 major issues we felt about the Realme X3. Now our detailed review video of the Realme X3 is coming up later today, so stay tuned for that in case you want to know how good this device for 25k price segment. So those were the issues of the Realme X3, which is priced 24,990. While the pricing is good, these are some of the issues you should be expecting if you plan to buy the Realme X3. So that's it for this video. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.